All right, and welcome everybody to the 5 Reasons Sports Network's own pregame show. It's called Yard Prep. The Miami Dolphins are facing off against the Houston Texans today at home at Hard Rock, which means the Hard Rock Sun Twitter account is going to be hard at work making the Houston Texans' lives miserable. So I'm joined by Eric Weideke, and of course we have Andy Romero, right? Romero?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, I finally got it right the first time. Woo! All right, so before we get too far into it, let me just go ahead and mention once again that our sponsors for this show, as always, is PrizePicks.com. PrizePicks.com is a revolutionary fantasy platform where you can pick up to 2, 3, 4, 5, and now even 6 different players from across professional sports leagues. You can choose college football, college basketball, college baseball. If you like lacrosse, you can even go in and pick some guys there. So I also know the World Cup is going. We got our guys at 5 Reasons Sports like Austin Robillard doing some awesome stuff there. Plenty of people doing soccer, World Cup stuff, and I personally am doing my NFL picks. So as of right now, as a matter of fact, PrizePicks is actually giving you a protected flex play up to $20. So if you somehow manage to lose, you're still going to get your $20 back. Just use the promo code 5, that's FIVE. They will match up to $100 on your initial deposit when you sign up using that promo code. So not only you're going to get a free $100 to play with from the moment that you sign up, you're also going to be able to get your $20 back if you end up betting it and losing. So how much better can it possibly get with PrizePicks? They give you freebie stuff all the time. Go over there right now. Use the promo code 5. That's FIVE. They will match up to $100 on your initial deposit. No questions asked. Done. End of discussion. All right. So, gentlemen.
Beautiful.
We've got some stuff going on here. Obviously, Miami Dolphins are about to face a severe. How do I put it nicely? The Houston Texans are struggling right now, or they're doing exactly what they want, depending on what point of view you want to use. I remember a long time ago that the Miami Dolphins were wanting to be put under investigation for not protecting the integrity of the game. So one has to wonder what exactly the Houston Texans think they're doing. Not only are they now benching Davis Mills, who was the only one who had even a scrap of potential. Now they're throwing Kyle Allen in there, who granted he's a lot better than I guess anybody's really given him credit for. He's a pretty good backup quarterback in the league, but he's still a backup. And they're going to put him out there as a starter with, I guess you can say Brandon Cooks is pretty good. I mean, who's the other guy? Who the other guys that the Texans have? Like, who on this Texans team should we be scared of?
Yeah, it's just Dameon Pierce.
Yeah,
which, by the way, Andy, I saw you pick the over on Dameon Pierce's overs on rushing yards. I picked the under. I
don't like to play unders. That's boring. So I'd rather just play the overs.
But if it's gonna be, we were talking about this. If it's gonna be 45-0 Dolphins, how much running are they gonna do?
Well, they got to pump up their only star, bro. They got to feed him. They feed that guy forcefully.
They do.
But if it becomes like a 30-zip game, they're just gonna start throwing, or they might run out the clock to get it over with. So
like end the pain early. Let's go home early.
Wave the white flag.
Yeah, bro.
Like at that point, don't even show up. But this is why I'm saying it. If we think about what the situation is right now with the Miami Dolphins, obviously offense was riding high before the bye week started. And hopefully that the time off did not end up making them lose any momentum because I picked the over on Trent Sherfield and Jalen Waddle. But with that being said, if we're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins offense first, we'll get into the offense. There's nothing on this Texans team aside from maybe Jerry Hughes that makes me think there's any reason the Dolphins shouldn't put up like at least 35 points. Like
especially with Stingley out, their star corner.
Who's the star corner? I don't even...
Their best corners. They're
okay, I'm about to say, it's like, who's the star? I don't even know the guy's name. Like,
I think so. They have some faith in them.
Yeah, pull up their roster. Who should I be aware of on the Houston Texans?
But my whole thing is, you can't seriously tell me with a straight face that you're worried about Jerry Hughes after seeing what the Dolphins' offensive line.
I mean, he's the only name I remember
last week.
He's the only name I remember.
I just, quite frankly, there's really not much.
Well, we're forgetting about the GOAT, all-time Dolphins legend, Laramie Tunsil on the left side of the line.
But he doesn't play defense.
He does not play defense, but you got to worry about him. I'm trying to give these guys some credit with something, bro.
I want anybody who's watching this show, if you're going to the game later, as soon as Laramie, if they announce the other team, and Laramie Tunsil's name gets mentioned, everybody needs to get up off their seat and give a standing ovation to Laramie Tunsil for helping us put us in the position that we are in today. Because it is thanks to him. The only thing that Chris Grier is missing now to finally cement his place as the best GM the Miami Dolphins ever had is to somehow pull off a trade to bring Laramie Tunsil back to Miami and let him play right tackle next on the other side of Teron Armstead. And that would just be like, we've come full circle. That would be perfect. Obviously, it's never going to happen. But never say never when it comes to Chris
Tunsil, like Tunsil carrying Grier. You have to put a statue right next to the Marino one.
No, Laramie Tunsil is going to go down in Miami Dolphins history. It's almost up there with the Herschel Walker trade. Like that's how crazy it's gotten to this point. Like we have gotten so many good players, we have gotten so many awesome prospects, also and so many opportunities just because of that one trade. Yeah. And we really thought, like at the time, we thought that even though we got all that compensation, I remember there were still some of us that were like, well, I mean, he's the best player we've got on the offensive line. Why are we dumping him? There was always that hesitancy. I don't regret it one bit now.
No, at the time, you kind of hesitate because it's a franchise left tackle. And with all the difficulties we've had on the line, you're like, damn, you finally hit and you want to give it away. But it was the best decision we've made, man.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It just kept paying dividends.
Yeah.
So, anyway, as far as the game today goes, Miami Dolphins have Tua Tagovailoa still. Raheem Mostert is doubtful for today. I think he'll be downgraded to out by the time the game is over. So it's going to be the Jeff Wilson show, and whoever the backup running back they decide is going to be. My money at this moment is on Savon Ahmed. I don't think that Gaskin's going to get much of a look, but we'll see on that. Let's see. What else? We're obviously still have Tyreek. We still have Jalen Waddle. We still have Mike Gesicki as a distraction because that's all he's apparently going to be used for ever again. Don't tell me about the over, Eric. Don't tell me about the over on Mike Gesicki.
I'm going to check that out. I didn't even check that.
No, Andy, I guarantee you don't want to do that.
He's not even on the board, I don't think.
Over 26.5 yards.
He's not going to get it. He never gets it.
Let's see receptions. If it's 1.5 receptions, you got to play it, bro. Hold on.
He can look it up if he wants. Let him look it up. I don't care. Yeah. But anyway, so we still have our offensive line is still there. Our offensive line is still there. Teron Armstead's playing. Connor Williams still there. Robert Hunt's still playing at a great level. I don't believe Brandon Shell is going anywhere for some time. So Austin Jackson's just going to still hang out there. And Robert Jones, he's actually doing a pretty good job at left guard, to be perfectly honest. So I'm perfectly content with just letting him continue to develop and grow at that position. So really the only thing that we're not really 100% sure about right now is Brandon Shell. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this coaching staff, but let's give credit to where it's due on the coaching staff. Matt Applebaum, Frank Smith, and I guess you can kind of, if you squint, say Lemuel Jean-Pierre got better at being assistant offensive line coach. But it's just like, these guys have turned this whole thing around. This blocking scheme has been very friendly for them. They know what they're doing, and having Teron Armstead and Connor Williams there, two legitimately good Pro Bowl players, and now Robert Hunt's coming into that line as well. You imagine, did you ever think we would ever get to the point where we can honestly look at this Miami Dolphins offensive line and say, oh, isn't that just average? It's good. Like, I'm sure they're not getting graded as good as they should be because the performance speaks for itself, but it's just like, this looks so much better now. This is not even the same, remotely the same offensive line we were imagining. We imagined an improvement. We didn't imagine it to be this good. We just figured that, Tua will get sacked like twice a game instead of 5 times a game. Tua hasn't been touched. He has not even been clean in that pocket.
In the runs, man.
And the holes in the run game, it is paying dividends. You win the games in the trenches, and now the Miami Dolphins have some trenches they can be proud of, and it's showing. It is showing. That's how these Dolphins do not get these offensive performances without the incredible performances by the offensive line. They just don't. And so I'm very happy to see that this is taking place. And now hopefully Teron Armstead's toe has healed up a little bit. His Achilles too. Get that all taken care of. Now he's maybe the aches and pains have gone away a little bit. Maybe he put some oils on the toe, make the swelling go down. I don't know, but hopefully we have a fantastic game. I really don't see any reason why we wouldn't have a terrific game on offense. So what say you, gentlemen? What are you thinking was going to happen on the offense? Who's going to be the star of this show?
You know, I coming off of a bye week, it's always so hard to predict because you don't know what their game plan is coming off of the bye week. And On top of that, I do think that there is a little bit of a danger in this game. Maybe not necessarily in that I think they'll lose, but they might just
Don't tell me it's a trap game.
But they might be underwhelming in the manner in which they win just because they're looking forward to going to San Francisco and going to LA. They've got a lot harder games upcoming that they might be looking towards. But if I'm going to go with somebody on offense to stand out, I don't see why we don't have another ho-hum 300 yards, 3 touchdowns out of Tua today.
Well, ironically enough, I don't think the Tua touchdowns are on Prize Picks for touchdown passes because they know he'll beat it. So, what are you thinking, Andy?
That's the same for the reception for Gesicki. They took it off because that 1.5 was money, man. Everybody was making money off that, man. For me, like you guys already mentioned, Tua. For me, Jalen Waddle is just gonna have a terrific game today because I know the Texans are gonna be focusing on Hill because why would you not? Best receiver in the NFL, and Waddle is gonna have his slants, his digs. They're all gonna be there, easy money all day long in the middle of the field. So I think Waddle might go for more than 100 and a touchdown for sure.
All right. So now, with that being said, is there anything else on offense we want to bring up before I get into the real meat and potatoes of defense?
Jeff Wilson against this
Not
Russian
really.
defense is gonna go crazy too.
I didn't pick Jeff Wilson just because I don't like that number feels too high for me. It really does. Like I need more. I need more from Jeff Wilson before I'm willing to say, oh yeah, he's definitely going to get over 100 yards rushing in one game, like on a consistent basis. That's a number you give Derrick Henry, and I never bet Derrick Henry for that reason. So anyway, with that being said, on the defensive side of the ball, again, we are facing Kyle Allen, who, granted, his track record tends to imply he's better than what we were thinking he is. I actually thought that he had played the Dolphins before, but I was mistaken. It was with the Bengals, and it was Brandon Allen, not Kyle Allen. There's too many Allens who are playing quarterback in the league, so I kind of got mistaken. But if anybody could look up Kyle Allen's stats, you would notice that his numbers are actually pretty impressive, all things considered, and it's possible that he hasn't been given a real fair chance. You could argue that maybe he's like on the level of a Case Keenum right now, somebody who's better than we're giving credit for. Maybe not as good as he wants to be, but better than we think he is. So I wouldn't say the Dolphins need to just kind of rest on their laurels and say, oh, don't worry, we got this. But I would say that there's a lot less stress about this game. Because, again, the only thing you really have to worry about right now is, for you guys, Dameon Pierce is a solid running back. But, frankly, the reason I chose the under on his rushing yards is just because I know that these Miami Dolphins are very stout against the run when it comes to running backs. Quarterbacks, all bets are off. But running backs, they don't get no rushing yards on Miami. And I'm Nick Chubb. Well, how many yards? Look, give me a. Can you pull up the numbers for me, either Eric or Andy? How many yards did Nick Chubb run for against the Dolphins?
With like 66, and 30-something of them were on one run.
And that's Nick Chubb. That's Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in football. Is Dameon Pierce one of the best running backs in football?
He's one of the best running backs in fantasy.
Top half of the league starter, probably.
Okay, so top 15.
Yeah.
But where's Nick Chubb rank?
Top 5.
Top 2.
So it's just Chubb and Henry, or are you flipping them?
I personally like
Chubb. I would honestly probably I might put Saquon in between those two somewhere at 2.
Yeah, but Saquon Barkley hasn't been doing a whole lot either. Well, he wasn't very helpful against the Cowboys on Thursday.
You're not scared of Daniel Jones, so you just stack the box.
Well, I mean, he still got the over on the passing yards, so that's one. But
that's true.
But in any case, so you have Dameon Pierce as the running back, so he's their star player. Are we gonna bank on Brandon Cooks? Who's the other guy who they throw to? Philip Dorsett?
Nico Collins is their number 2.
Nico Collins?
Yep.
He's decent. He used to play for Michigan. He's all right.
I think Kader Kohu can handle him. I mean, unless there's something about Nico Collins that I'm not aware of.
There's nothing. You look at this depth chart, it's a bunch of doo-doo, man. It really is.
Who's the top quarterback in this upcoming draft?
Probably Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Okay, so
yeah.
CJ is in the
the
mix.
Texans are going yuck for Young.
Yep.
Pretty
I mean,
much,
to
man.
be fair, I know you started this whole thing with talking about the Texans and tanking, but I mean, looking at Kyle Allen's stats, is he really any worse than like Davis Mills? I feel like you're just
Well,
kind
that's
of
what I was
swapping
saying
out
is that he's
like for
better than we
like.
give him credit for. But
Yeah.
I'm not scared of Davis Mills either.
I know that's my whole point is like I can't say that they're tanking because Kyle Allen and Davis Mills probably around the same.
They gave Davis Mills a chance to prove he was the guy. He didn't do it, and
Exactly.
so it's just I feel like putting in Kyle Allen is just like, yeah, we surrender, we give up. The season's in the toilet. We're gonna go ahead and tank for Bryce Young, or whoever they want. Is Spencer Rattler gonna be coming out soon? I don't know. I know that he was a name for a while ago, but I don't know if he's all that.
He might be
fallen
coming
off quite a bit though.
He picked it up the last 3 or 4 weeks, but he's been really underwhelming since what he was supposed to be.
I don't know, man. I'm not a college expert. I go to guys like Alfredo and some other folks that I know for that, but I digress. So with that in mind,
though, like about the Texans, like they've been competitive in a lot of their games. You know, against the Jaguars, against the Colts, against the Bears. Those are mediocre teams, but they've been competitive. So I don't, you can't overlook them, but it should be a rout either way.
Right. I never overlook a team. But I can be honest enough to say that there's no excuse for the Dolphins not to absolutely wreck these guys. They're talented. They're more talented than Houston in every facet of the game, except maybe kicker.
Oh, then let's not talk about the kicker.
We have to.
Let's not do that.
We have to.
I do think that there's an interesting discussion to be had about this game and its placement on the schedule. Right off of a bye week, right before, going on that road trip when you've got
toughest game of the season is San Francisco.
Right, yeah. At Buffalo is pretty tough.
I'm not worried about Buffalo anymore. Buffalo used to scare me, but we have the blueprint for Josh Allen, okay? Just don't blitz him. Make him try to beat you with his arm, and he'll get you sometimes. He will. I understand that, but that's what really good quarterbacks do. But if you're going to challenge Josh Allen, you do it by basically making it so that the secondary is all over the place. I'm not worried about Josh Allen, it's particularly with his elbow all screwed up.
I guess what I'm getting at here is, would you rather this game have been before the bye week, or are we okay with this one being after the bye week and then kind of a warm up?
I think after the bye week, I think is the best thing they could have done, because like you just said, it's pretty much a warm up. It's like, okay, guys, you're fresh off your little bye week. You've had your vacation. Let's start off slow. Let's take down the Houston Texans, who are probably the weakest team left on the schedule. And then we can ramp it up again when it's time to go to San Francisco. That's what I'm looking at it as.
Yeah, I will say though, I don't like playing in Buffalo. I don't care who the roster is in the Bills. I do not like playing in Buffalo. I have really bad memories the last 3 or 4 seasons. Let's hope we change it this year. But
it's going to change.
I will say,
if you don't believe it's going to change, it's because you're believing the narrative that Tua can't throw when it's cold.
No, it's just
last
flashbacks.
The last time the Dolphins won in Buffalo, I will remind you guys, there was a number 23 playing running back. And now we have another 23 playing running back that can get the job done in the snow.
Okay.
This team, the Dolphins are. Let's put this out there real quick. In terms of being built to play in bad weather, this Dolphins team is better built to play in bad weather than Buffalo is. They have a better run game, and they're better against the run. Those are the two things that you're looking at there.
Do you count Josh Allen as part of the Bills' run game? Mind you, I just realized we're talking about Buffalo when the game is against the Houston Texans. Like we're already looking past Houston, San Francisco, Los Angeles. Like I don't care, just beat Buffalo again. We want to beat on Buffalo again. Like I know we're excited, but let's do it 1 week at a time. That's what Mike McDaniel's hopefully doing. Hopefully that's what Mike McDaniel's doing. He's not already looking 4 weeks ahead to Buffalo again. So let's go ahead and get ready to wrap this bugger up. Yep. What exactly is the prediction for this game? What are you guys predicting happens? What's the score? Who are your star players? And let's wrap this thing up.
You go, Eric.
Okay. Yeah, so I think like I said, I think they're going to win going away, but it's kind of just going to be like meh. I think it'll be 31-10. I like Tua to be the offensive star in this one. Go for like 250 and 3 scores, no picks. On the defensive side of the ball, I think it'll be Christian Wilkins, kind of creating havoc on the defensive line, making sure Dameon Pierce kind of gets hemmed up in this one.
Okay, Andy.
Well, I'm feeling a 40 burger, man. 40, 45 points. What I'm feeling on the Dolphins side. On the Texans side, we might give them 10 points just so we don't get too embarrassed, man. Offensively, again, Waddle. Look out for Waddle, man. He's gonna get one-on-one coverage. Or either that, or they get a double team Waddle, they get a double team Hill, and Mike Gesicki is gonna break all-time records today. Just for you, bro. Just for Lewis.
No, he will not.
On the defensive side, I'm looking for Xavier Howard to get his first pick of the year. I really need to see that. It don't have to be a magnificent.
He has an
pick.
interception.
It could be He did win. Remind me on that.
I know he had one. I don't remember where it was, but he has an interception.
Well, let's get his second pick.
I know he had a couple of almost ones, but he has at least one interception. Eric, can you look that up? I know he has one. He has at least one. No interceptions, really?
No picks on the year.
Man. No picks.
Wow. I could have sworn he had one.
He's come close a few times where he's just dropped the ball.
Yeah. So I want that first pick and maybe that second pick today too. I want him to get back on his feet. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So for me, I'm thinking it's going to be along the lines of 35-13. I'm not going to go 40 because I never predict a 40. 40 is too much. But I think these Miami Dolphins can absolutely score 35 on these Texans. I think Dameon Pierce will get close to wrecking my day, but he won't quite make it thanks to Zach Sealer being who he is, and he just wraps up running backs and squashes them like bugs. And as far as the offense goes, I'm banking on Trent Sherfield making an impact again. He seems to be, as far as wide receivers go, he's like the unsung hero around here. Not only is he a fantastic blocker, he can catch the ball. If I'm Miami, I'm honestly locking him up to a long-term deal as we speak. A team-friendly one, mind you. I'm not going to throw the whole bag at him, but a team-friendly deal that basically says you are a fantastic role player and we want to keep you around because you're that special.
He reminds me of someone that I don't want to say it out loud, but he kind of reminds me of Juice. When I see him play.
Trent Sherfield, the Jarvis Landry?
I kind of see it, the blocking, the physicality, the energy every time he gets a first down.
I was saying Eric Nzukama kind of reminds me of Jarvis Landry, but he hasn't touched the field yet, so we don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think it's because of lack of talent. I just think that there's a level of precision that is taking a while for Nzukama to get on, and B, like who are you benching for Nzukama? Like, everybody's doing fantastic. Are you benching Tyreek Hill? No. Are you benching Jalen Waddle? No. Are you benching Trent Sherfield? No. So, who are you getting rid of to make room for Eric Ezukanma? Can't think of
I don't
anybody.
think it's going to be a Carew situation where it's just like 4 years of nothing. I think he's going to make an impact in his second and third year. But like you said, this first season – he's gonna be a little slower. He's gonna
the only thing you have to basically dump Cedric Wilson before you can make room for Eric Ezukanma, and because of the money aspect, he's not going anywhere yet. So anyway,
he's been a good sport though. I'm happy he hasn't been pouting.
No, yeah, he's been a good sport. It's like, hey, we're gonna make you the punt returner because we don't have anything else for you to do, okay? And he's like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what. Honestly, I wish we had managed to trade him back to Dallas at the trade deadline because then at least he'd have something to do.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he would. Maybe Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb kind of.
Dallas is thirsty over Odell Beckham, so maybe he would have.
Oh yeah, they're maybe the Giants next year. All right,
they're pursuing him like as if it's 2017 or something, man. Like I've never seen a franchise so thirsty. The whole roster.
The Dallas sees that their window is now, so we'll see what happens. In any case, any final thoughts before we call it?
Fins for the win again and again.
Just don't let anybody get hurt today. That's how I'm feeling. I feel like this is a I'm almost I hate that I'm approaching this like a preseason game, and it's
do not speak it into existence, Eric. Don't Don't.
Just get out healthy. Let's just get out healthy. That's
Okay.
all I'll say.
Okay, good. That's all you got to say. Do not speak anything into existence. Here, let's do this because we're not having I don't think we're having a dedicated Prize Pick show. Who's your top pick on you guys' props? I know you guys made your props. Are you going to go? Did you do your flex plays, guys? Did you go back in and do another one?
Yeah, I did it right before the show, actually. Again, all overs. I got DJ Moore over because we got Sam Darnold. That's
over on what? I don't know what it. I don't know. Over can mean many things.
Over on anything is tough. Over on rushing, receiving yards. On receiving yards, I got Terrence Marshall over on receiving yards. Curtis Samuel over on receiving yards. These are no numbers. I'm talking 47, 37, 33. Waddle over. Mark Andrews over. And Christian Kirk over. I'm talking about a lot of passing yards today, man.
Oh, they could put Christian Kirk back? I saw there was a tweet out for Christian Kirk on reception, and they took it down.
Oh, man. Yeah, I did the receiving yards, so. And this is the one that, like you said, even if you miss, they give you up to $20 back today. So
right, you bet 20, they give you back 20 if you lose. So can't lose. Eric.
Yep. So if I were to give everybody I'm going to give everybody a Dolphins specific prop that I really like that I saw on Prize Picks. I would take Waddle's receptions on the over at 5.5. I think he gets 6 or 7 today. Sure. And then as far as my lineup overall, I actually share 1 or 2 plays with you, Lewis. I have Kenny Walker over, Terry McLaurin over, Travis Etienne over today on rush yards, Brian Robinson over on the rush yards, Geno Smith over on the pass yards, and Jacoby Brissett over on the pass yards today.
Okay.
I love these overs.
I don't remember everybody by heart, and I'm using my phone, so I can't look it up without messing something up. But with that being said, I know I picked Lamar Jackson over passing yards, over 200 passing yards against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That just feels like a gimme to me.
I was eyeing that one, man.
It's Lamar Jackson. I'm thinking he gets that easy. Like he gets that easy. I also think I picked the over on Tyreek Hill's receptions. I think he's only had like a couple of weeks where he hasn't gotten at least 7. So just like I did with Stephon Diggs on Thanksgiving, I'm picking Tyreek Hill for the same reason. Tua's just going to feed him the rock all day long. So I'm not worried about that. I'm thinking that's going to be an easy one. Anybody who's out there listening, I would also go ahead. Can I pull up my tweets, please, so that I can actually read what it is?
I got it up here. You got Lamar 20 over on his passing yards. Geno Smith over on his rushing yards. You got McLaurin also. Sherfield, like you mentioned, and you got Russell Wilson. This is interesting. I
picked him for passing and rushing combined.
Yeah, I like that.
Honestly, I wish I had done Lamar Jackson passing and rushing because I don't think the number was that different, and he would have at least gotten his rushing yards in there too. But that was my bad.
Is that even available? Oh, shoot, man.
Is Andy about to go in and make another pick?
Shoot,
you don't get $20 on this one.
It is what it is, man. That's guaranteed, bro. They probably don't even have him on. Yeah, they don't have him on. They have Jalen Hurts. They have Tua, and Tua, the difference is only like 5 yards. That might be a play too.
Okay. All right. Any final thoughts before we call it?
It's a W.
All right. Let's get the W. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And once again, prizepicks.com. Go over there. Use the promo code 5. That's FIVE. They will match up to $100 on your initial deposit when you first sign up. And not only that, especially for today, you are going to be able to take advantage of protected picks. If you make your first pick for today, you're going to end up getting up to $20 back if you end up losing. So you bet 20, you get your 20 back if you don't end up being the big winner today. So go ahead and jump in on that right now, prizepicks.com. And thank you all, everybody. We got all sorts of stuff going to be coming up. We're going to be having our post-game show, the final yard after the game is over. I'll be there. Eric might be there. I'm going to try to convince my guy Ron to be there. Going to try to convince a whole lot of people to join. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody, make sure you're tuning in, and we will see you all after the game.